We're on location today at the Mae Wilson Theatre here at the Moose Jaw Cultural Center, and Mandy Higgins is joining us today. Mandy, thanks for spending some time with us.
You're welcome.
Tell me a little bit about some of the events, because there's some really interesting things coming up. There always are interesting things here, but the first one I have a real interest in, Uncle Al Capone. Tell me what sort of an event that's going to be here for the Cultural Center.
Okay. Uncle Al Capone, that's August 27th at 7 p.m. Deidre Capone, a grandniece of Al Capone, is going to be here that day and telling us what it was like growing up as a member of the Capone family. Now, her grandfather was Ralph Capone, and he was listed in 1930 as public enemy number 3 by the Chicago Crime Commission. And this makes Deidre the grandniece of public enemy number 1, Al Capone, the notorious Chicago gangster. And for much of her life, Deidre did not readily volunteer she was a Capone. In fact, she hid it entirely. She made every effort to hide her family history. She and her husband fled from Chicago. He was the only one who knew who she was. But it wasn't until she had grandchildren that she decided to share her family history and write a book about her experiences. So when she's here on August 27th, she's going to be sharing family stories and pictures from the family album. And afterwards, she'll be signing copies of her book, Uncle Al Capone, The Untold Story from Inside His Family. And there's another aspect to this event that day. There's going to be a sneak peek screening of Finding Al, a documentary, which is produced and directed by Regina filmmaker Kellyanne Reese, and it explores Al Capone's possible connections to Moose Jaw. Tickets for this event are on sale now at our box office only. It's a general seating event.
Sounds very interesting. Sounds and a perfect tie-in to Moose Jaw and Moose Jaw's history and the tunnels and all the rest.
Yes, definitely.
So Mandy, just starting off in September here, we've got some of the RSO coming here. It's the Symphony Chamber Players, right? Yes,
the Regina Symphony Chamber Players on Friday, September 6th at 7:30 p.m. Now, remember that time in March when the Trans-Canada Highway was closed for like 2 days because of blowing snow? Well, the RSO was supposed to have a show here then on March 22nd, but they couldn't get here. So it was rescheduled to this date, September 6th. And the RSO Chamber Players are a core group of 11 players from the Regina Symphony Orchestra, and they're going to be playing a set of classical pieces that day. Tickets are on sale at our box office or moosejawculture.com.
All right, and the next event that's coming up is Singin', Pickin' and Grinnin', but there's special guests here that have a local tie. It's Kelly Bordage and Trick Ryder, and I know they've been on Shaw TV quite a while ago too, so it's going to be exciting to see them again. Yes,
definitely. Freddie and Sheila, as many people out there are aware, have been hosting a series of concerts at the Moose Jaw Cultural Center called Singin', Pickin' and Grinnin', and they're back with 2 shows this fall. And the first one is September 14th, and yes, Kelly Bordage and his band Trick Ryder are the special guests that day. And the concert, Freddie and Sheila specialize in country, folk, roots, traditional music. So Kelly Bordage, his band plays country, so it's going to fit in perfectly. And the other 2 members of Trick Ryder are Kevin Irwin on keyboards and Greg White on drums. And tickets for this event are on sale at the Cultural Center box office or moosejawculture.com. And just a note on the other concert this fall is October 19th. The special guest at that show is Brett Kissel. He's a country singer-songwriter from Alberta, and he's recently released an album with Warner Music Canada.
All right. Now, you mentioned moosejawculture.com. I bet you that's one of the best ways to connect with the Cultural Center and the Mae Wilson Theatre here, right?
You bet. That's our website, moosejawculture.com. And if you click on upcoming events, you're going to get more information on everything I've talked about, how to buy tickets. There's also links on there to all our social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and a blog. And I'm active on all of those sites. So if you want the latest updates, the latest buzz on upcoming events, that's where to go.
All right. Well, Mandy, thanks for taking a bit of time. As we wrap up our summer here into fall, there's always lots to see and do at the Moose Jaw Cultural Center, Mae Wilson Theatre. For Shaw TV, I'm Greg Olson.